OG, we OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro? Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the steel. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? An amazing show for you guys today. We're live for the Ordinal Hour, and this one is going to be the best ever, guys, because you are not bullish enough, guys. We just hit 106,350 right now. This second, we're over 106. I think the all-time high was hit last night at like 106, 600, 700. Every exchange is different where the actual all-time high is, but guys, it is amazing to be up above 106 right now. Exciting times are ahead of us. Santa Claus rally, Yagobi's been calling for it, and it looks like we're going to hit it. It usually happens between the 15th and the 30th, and it feels really like we're going to hit it again. Last year was pretty much the same as it is this year, which is pretty nuts. So it's pretty wild right now, guys. I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here right now. I'm excited to be alive in the time where Bitcoin is over $100,000 and being a Bitcoiner and just knowing what that means and where we're going. I mean, 100,000 is just the beginning. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Where we're going to go, it's probably just going to go up forever because you're kind of judging it on against the dollar. That has to go down forever. The dollar has to, inflate by 2% every year to keep the economy going. So Bitcoin minimum going to go up 2%, but it's been averaging 25% every single year, and it's been absolutely amazing. So without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, dude? It looks like we're not getting no push on X right now.
Yeah, that's weird.
For some reason,
I don't know if we have to reconnect that because, well, when I actually shared the post, it was only the link. Yeah. So I don't know if there's like an issue with connection with that.
Yeah, might want to check. I don't know what's going on with that, but
oh, I mean, see it.
I can do.
Yeah, and I do see it on the right side, so it's all good though.
Okay. Yeah. All right,
trickle in.
But what's going on, man? How are you feeling today? 106,000. Wild day.
Yeah, definitely wild. It started yesterday, right? On Sunday. And we were talking heading into the weekend that if it was going to happen, it would probably be on Sunday after, all day of Saturday back and forth kind of chop trading. And that's exactly what happened, right? And it did hit literally right in the middle of the month, right? On the 15th for this Santa rally, which I do believe this is part of that spark. I still think the week before was the spark kind of little of the kickoff because we didn't see huge pullbacks like into 90 94, 95. I think it wicked maybe a part of that, but like it was just recovered so fast. But now it seems to be pretty hyper aggressive in terms of upward trajectory, right? So this is where I think it starts, and we'll see, if we have those back-to-back green daily candles like we saw in the previous cycle.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's awesome. We'll see. We're just being over 106, 194 right now. Pretty wild. But Bitcoin is breaking out, but it's just the beginning. I guess, we just kind of hit on that. But yeah, man, I mean, we could see 110 today or 110 this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked to
Yeah.
see us cross 110 this week. Getting to 106, I think it was like 5 something yesterday. Now it seemed like this morning session, we've tried, at least on the 5-minute chart, to break through that previous all-time high, 1, 2, 3, 4, really 4 candle attempts, 5-minute candle attempts without doing so. So I'm not sure if we're going to do it in this morning session, break through, but we'll see. We'll see. It seems like it doesn't want to let up, though. That's the thing. But again, it could be trying to get more long sucked in, because at the end of the day, you have to remember this is a market maker's game, in terms of, hitting liquidations and stop losses and all that not so fun stuff for our end.
Yeah, man, I agree. All right, let's kind of get into something here. So Plan B's stock to flow chart is looking healthy, bro. It is looking very healthy. I remember sitting in this cluster that we were in and just like, all right, this chart got to be right. It got to be right. But dude, we're headed, man. We are looking like we're headed there. Eventually, we're going to get something like a separation. We're going to get some type of separation eventually. We got about 3 more months of this red, which is, still down here. And then we start entering this orange area where we usually just crush it. So it's looking really healthy, dude. Look, my numbers, 700K is looking really good right now.
Yeah. I mean, 700K, it's still a really high number, but at the end of the day, some people say it matches up with this chart, right? So we'll see if that happens. Either way, we're gonna hit 700K. Even if it doesn't happen this cycle, it'll be like, in my opinion, it's gonna happen probably. If it's not gonna happen this cycle, it will easily happen next cycle. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird just talking about Bitcoin in this way, right? Like looking at it right now, just push through 103 a week and a half after it hit that all-time high. It's like we don't know where it's going to stop before the year's up.
Yeah, well, I do. Stopping at around 700K. No, just kidding. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun times ahead. Bitcoin has been the best performing major asset in 8 of the last 10 years. And I have this really good chart here by Simply Bitcoin, posted it this morning, and it really caught my attention. If you can see up here, Bitcoin's been number 1 in 2015, 16, 17, 18. It got beat by the S&P. But 2019, 92%, 2020, 300%, 2021, 60%. And then it got beat in 2022. And as you can see, these are 2 bear market years. And then again, 155, 139, 78. So an average of about, between 25, 30% every single year. The best performing asset. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, you can't deny that, right? Like, I mean, it is what it is. How many years is that? That's about to be 10 years. So 80%.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take that all day.
Yep. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild to think about. All you got to do is hold Bitcoin. That's all you had to do the last 10 years. It's pretty wild. And these guys are getting our strategy. But someone who does buy a lot of Bitcoin is our guy, Michael Saylor. MicroStrategy buys another 15,350 Bitcoin for 1.5 billion, boosting total holdings to just under 500,000, sitting there at 439 million. I'm sorry, 439,000 Bitcoin. Pretty crazy. He buys every Monday, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, and also you have to remember too, like they were talking about how BlackRock's ETF has the most right now, I think.
Yeah.
But MicroStrategy is the single entity for itself, so it's not. If you look at it and compare it like that, it's actually, this is a lot for one entity. So obviously MicroStrategy and Saylor is super bullish on Bitcoin after he converted to it, and so I feel like this is kind of like a little bit of putting some mud in the face of Microsoft. They're like, hey, look at what you're missing out on.
Yeah, man. It's great. It is great. So, and Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy MSTR officially joins the Nasdaq 100. This is big because this is the first time Nasdaq 100 has Bitcoin inside besides Tesla. So pretty nuts.
Yeah, yeah, and then there's requirements, right? Like if you
Yeah.
if you join that, then the Nasdaq has to get what 1% of the stock,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. 1%. So every company inside the 100 is 1%. Obviously, if you dip, they buy more. If you go up, they sell. So it's like they always try to keep you within 1%. So that way it equals out to 100 companies at 1%. That is why people buy this thing. But it's pretty crazy. Congratulations, Michael Saylor, man. He's just winning. And then he comes out with a statement. He says, sell all the US gold and just buy Bitcoin. And pretty nuts because there's a hypothetical. US Bitcoin reserve could cover 44% of the national debt by 2050 if Bitcoin compounds at 25% annually and 1 million Bitcoin is acquired over the 5 years starting at 250K. So, and I do have a chart here for that as well. It's pretty crazy how that's possible. But it says here it's holdings period 20 years, starting debt 37 trillion. And then basically if you start buying the Bitcoin, the final Bitcoin treasury value in 2049 is 52.9 trillion. So potentially Bitcoin could eat up a lot of that debt. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But will they do that? Will they make that move to sell down their gold?
He said he was going to do it. Well, you don't even got to sell down the gold. That's just if you just buy Bitcoin, right? That's not even like you don't even have to sell your gold down for this to happen. This is just you got to figure out where the money's going to come from, and coming from gold and rather than the taxpayer is a lot better. But at the same time, you could potentially the U.S. could be the strongest nation in the world by 2050 again if they go through with this.
Yep. We just crossed over all-time high, I think, just now.
Ooh,
So
where we at?
Ding, 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 ding.
Man,
Live view here. I can show it.
Wow. Yeah, go ahead.
You can see right here, we're at 106,780. Definitely looks like we're getting hyper aggressive. So right before they or maybe did they leave their desks already? TradFi?
They usually go to lunch. Like the big boys go to lunch at 11 o'clock, come back at 1. It's kind of like
it
the same.
Happened
It's
afterwards.
not always true, but it's kind of like the same.
Yeah. Well, maybe they stayed in today.
The sell pressure left, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it did maybe, right? That could be it. You can see right here, it's really, aggressive looking here on the VRVP. You can see like there's no sell orders that have come through at these levels at 106, 700. Obviously, this is not, exactly like right on the second accurate, but like, this is what I'm seeing in terms of the VRVP, right? So it's way heavier on the support than it is resistance. Resistance is starting to come in a little bit here. So yeah, it looks like that has already, turned around there.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that was quick. But anyways, pretty cool.
Back down, baby.
Hit a new all-time high. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Cointelegraph says Bitcoin's base case is now 140K as price discovery returns ahead of Christmas, fueled by bullish targets and potential Fed rate cut. So they're kind of giving that $140,000 mark by the end of this year. I mean, this is Cointelegraph. I mean, they're a Bitcoin news company, but at the same time, dude, I've said this. I said we're gonna hit 140K by the end of this year, and I truly believe if we continue on this arc that we're on right now, we could do that, in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Look, anything's on the table. I feel like once, right as of right now, like it's just really aggressive, right? Of Bitcoin's price action. So, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened, right? 140K. I mean, it is higher than what my initial targets are, but like I said, anything's kind of on the table right now, especially if we're going to get to like the mid, six figures, like 400, 500,000 in your targets at 700,000. We got to kind of start pushing along.
Yep. Bitcoin. So El Salvador's Bitcoin holdings exceed 620 million. Bitcoin country is winning. So El Salvador is buying 1 Bitcoin every single day. And they're continuously buying since August of 2021. They've been buying pretty much every day. And right now they have $620 million in Bitcoin. This is a small country. This isn't a country who has, deep wealth. This is a country that is taking taxes and potentially buying Bitcoin with this, and then they're also mining the Bitcoin using volcano energy. So this is pretty nuts. I just want El Salvador to win. I want them to win. I want them to get this over $1 billion. But think about it. Right now, 620 million. They keep buying and they keep holding. They could be like $3-4 billion by the end of the cycle in Bitcoin holdings. What's that do to their currency? I mean, wow.
Yeah. Well, it actually gives them leverage, and you already saw it with the IMF, right? The IMF had came to them. Typically, countries like El Salvador go to the IMF asking for help in these types of situations, but the IMF is kind of going to them saying, "Hey, we want your business," as opposed to the opposite, right? So, 620 million. I think a lot of people probably expected higher than that in terms of the value, but you have to remember, like you said, it is a small country recovering from a lot of things, and so I think at the end of the day, like 5-10 years from now, you're going to see them benefit immensely from this, right? They laid the bets on Bitcoin early as a country, and I think they're going to benefit really big from this. And you're already starting to see the benefits. I mean, 620 million is still a lot for that country. They have the system in place now too with Bitcoin, like you said, the mining and everything. So
let's just say they they get to $3 billion by end of the cycle. They could create their own currency and back that currency by sats, right? So I mean, they could have a digital Satoshi type of environment where every Salvador dollar is backed by so many sats. And they could eventually be that. That would be amazing. I'm actually waiting for that. A currency that's actually backed by sats, and this might be the first place to do that. But they got to get to a certain amount of Bitcoin first, and I think that's what the ultimate goal is.
Yep, I agree, man. And then you have to also remember too, the way that they're educating their citizens in high school. I think earliest high school, right? In terms of Bitcoin, the foundations of its fundamentals, exactly, right? So their citizens are also going to benefit from this. So when you do that and you start to disperse the education into your society of your country, it benefits everything, right? Because then they have more wealth, and your economies does better. So I think we're going to look back 10 years from now and look at El Salvador, and a lot of people are going to look at Bukele as like a really big visionary as a president of a country in Latin America.
Yeah, and if you spend 1 Bitcoin in one transaction, you automatically get full citizenship.
Which is
if you
that's
spend 1
crazy.
Bitcoin. If you buy a house, basically, if you buy land or if you buy a farm, you automatically become a citizen. Pretty wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
These next two just make me smile. German parliament member Jonah Kotar says Europe will get FOMO if US adopts strategic Bitcoin reserve. And then former German finance minister Christian Lindner comes out and criticizes Chancellor Olaf for not adopting Bitcoin in Germany. How stupid does Germany look right now, selling at 45,000? And we kind of waited for them to be done. It's like, okay, Germany's done. Let's take this. They're down 50% of everything they sold right now.
What's so crazy too? Like the EU countries and like Germany specifically, they were so intertwined with like the United States and the way United States do things, right? So the United States was just selling Bitcoin from time to time and stuff like that. And so I think all those countries kind of got in that mentality too, and now they're paying for it, right? They're looking back and they're like, why did we do this? And I think there's going to be more of that in the future. Like, oh man, why did we follow the United States? And like for the past like 8 years of this type, 4 years of this type of thought process. But they'll catch on. I think they have smart people in their government, so hopefully they'll catch on.
But it's just, what if they're selling? They sold at 50, you have to buy back at 150. It's just
it hurts. They know what it feels like for retail now, right?
Yeah, 100%. And then former Thai prime minister predicts Bitcoin could hit 850,000. Out pushing my prediction. Thailand to study the potential of a Bitcoin as legal tender. Just that statement alone was like, holy crap. He first says 850K, and then he comes out and says legal tender. And this is the prime minister, former prime minister, but still, this guy was in charge of everything in Thailand at one point, and now he's coming out and saying this. I mean, it's equivalent to like a former president coming out and saying this, right? And that's huge. That's monstrous.
And I love countries like this that are
Yeah.
paying attention to it, right? Because like Thailand, it does get a lot of tourism, like a ton of tourism, right?
Yeah.
But if you go to Thailand and you go anywhere outside like the huge cities, like their infrastructure could be a lot better, you know? And
Yeah.
I think something like this could be something like El Salvador, where like, you know, they're a little bit late when you compare to El Salvador, but they're early when you compare them to other countries, right? So if they get ahead of the curve here in 10 years, their country could be dynamically like restructured in terms of infrastructure and stuff like that. So Bitcoin could be really this thing that really, you know, revives and stuff in terms of infrastructure of countries that don't have a really good structure for that. Because like, what do you need with that? You need something more than just tourism economy. You need overall economy structure, right? And I think Bitcoin could provide that.
And these countries have about 30 days to front run the US, right? They have 30 days before they can fully front run the US, and they can really push this forward. And another thing I just thought about for Germany is like, you have to remember when Germany was selling, Kamala was predicted to win, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, and now that Trump won, it's kind of like
backfired.
Wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they took a bet, it feels like, on the winner, and they lost. So that's what happens when you take bets. You win some, you lose some. But on Fox Business, per Ann Boring, founder and CEO of Digital Chamber of Commerce, projects Trump's economic policies could propel U.S. to Bitcoin leadership and drive prices to $800,000 by 2026. Dude, what happened? I used to be the most bullish person in the world, and now you have people going on Fox and saying 800K Bitcoin by 2026. Like, is my number not bullish enough anymore? Like, or am I just right?
I don't know, like you know, hearing the top numbers from like news outlets and stuff like that, to me is, you know, that sounds like too high, right? Because whenever you start to hear that consistently, but this might be the cycle to where it gets a little bit more accurate, right? Because you know, a lot of them are using models that are popular and stuff like that, right? So you know, I just remember the $1 million. So this is lower than that, but there was a couple of people calling $1 million last cycle that were, you know, people probably that didn't know much about it, but they were in the trad industry. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see where Bitcoin goes this cycle, because a lot of people, I'm starting to see that $600,000 to $800,000 price target. So we'll see if it reaches that.
Well, nobody was calling for 100K Bitcoin in December 2020. Everyone started calling for that in about mid 2021.
After it already
right?
had like shot up aggressively. Yeah,
Exactly.
True. Very true.
I don't even think we've got our predictions yet. I think people are going to predict
crazy
2
ones,
million, 3 million, and it's going to feel like, holy shit, maybe that's possible. But then we hit 69, 690,000 and kind of drift back a little bit, you know? So I feel like that 669 number. I mean, you got to remember last time 69,420 was the all-time high for 3 years. And I think maybe we could hit 600,420 potentially as the new all-time high. That's kind of my prediction. I predict 700K, maybe a little under. And I feel like everyone's going to be saying, we're going to $1 million, we're going to $1 million. And we just don't have that firepower left in us to hit that $1 million number, even with the U.S. buying for strategic reserve and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right on that. Like, people were calling for those crazy targets of like $1 million and stuff after we were like in that spring
40K
kind of top. Well, no, actually, I think closer to 60. Like whenever it went up the first time in April, that's when you heard some crazy targets, and it makes sense because at that point, like retail's already FOMOing and stuff like that. So we haven't even heard the crazy targets yet, because we both know that that's coming, and I think that's going to be crazy. Like where people are like, okay, we're 1.2 million, something like that, you know.
And then I'm going to look like conservative, but my number's not going to change. You know, my number's not going to change. Everyone's going to be over predicting me eventually, guaranteed. CNN host Van Jones on how the Democratic Party pushed people away from Bitcoin, and says Biden, Harris, and Warren beating the hell out of crypto was not smart. I mean, obviously, right? But it's just cool seeing it from Van Jones, who's been, you know, a Democrat his entire life. And, you know, he's kind of seeing this, and that just shows you that the entire Democratic Party, if they want to win the next election, they're going to be very Bitcoin friendly, and coming out and saying things like we're going to sell the strategic reserve and stuff like that, that would be detrimental to them. And it's something that I don't think will ever happen, which is very bullish on Bitcoin, even going into the next election. And we still have a long time to that point, but that would be the worst case scenario, is a Democratic president coming in and selling down the reserve of Bitcoin. And for other things, we've been doing that. It seems like every time we give money away, Bitcoin gets sold, and I mean every single time. So I mean, it might stop them from even coming out and even trying to say something like that, which is very bullish for Bitcoin.
Yeah, and one of the things that happened this cycle was that crypto was finally able to flex its muscle, right? In
Yeah.
terms of donors and,
Yep.
supporting a certain type of politician that is more open-minded to crypto and stuff like that. The previous
Yep.
cycle, I don't think there was enough like foundational capital to do so, right? And so
Yep.
now they like it was too late for them because they were like, oh crap, like finally like we're getting bit in the hand by the dog, right? Before
Yep.
we would just smack the dog in the face, and now the dog's biting back, and now we're injured from that. And I think that's what he's saying from this. But it feels good to actually be able to have that, because I think
Yeah.
from now on, crypto is going to be taken very seriously from governments.
100%, especially the king of crypto, which is
Yep.
Bitcoin. 100%. Bitcoin wallet developer Exodius to go public on the New York Stock Exchange this Wednesday with a reserve of 1,900 Bitcoin. So this is something I think we're going to see more and more of this. I think you're going to see like MetaMask go public. You're going to see a lot of these places that don't have coins, like these companies that don't have coins. You're going to see a lot of them potentially go public going forward. So you might see multiple, New York Stock Exchange listings happening every single day going into January, February, March, because these companies know that, hey, we have so much time. We get in, our stock gets bought, we look really good, and then we kind of we can flow off that momentum. But shout out to Exodius for going. I actually used their wallet a while ago. But yeah, I mean, this is huge. I think we're going to see more and more of this. I don't think people understand how big this is, because this is more companies looking legit. I mean, you got to be 100% legit to get on the stock market, and you can see Exodius doing this right now.
Yeah, this actually brings more security to companies that are in crypto, because now they can actually have like a board and a team to kind of help them guide them through issues they might be going through. Before, because there was no regulation and stuff like that, people weren't doing this. And when they ran into issues, they were kind of like, okay, what do we do? They actually can now, kind of look at their shareholders and their shares in general, along with their board, as support in case they go through any issues and stuff. So I love this, and I think, like, I agree with you. I think we're going to see more and more of this.
Yep. I can't wait. I seriously can't wait. I think that's going to be bullish catalyst going into when something like MetaMask goes public. Because you got to remember when Coinbase went public, that's when we hit our all-time high. Right?
Yeah.
That was the peak. And you might see more and more of that, but these smaller companies getting in, and then towards the end, maybe you see these monsters companies coming in, like MetaMask and stuff like that, coming into the stock market. So MetaMask is a Canadian company, but we have seen Canadian companies go to the U.S. stock market. So
Yep, and they have an office in Austin too. So they're they're in the U.S. They're intertwined with the U.S. as well. So
gotcha. Bitcoin fear and greed. So last Monday we were at 78. Yesterday we're at an 80. So my hint today is it's not as high as I thought it was going to be, but it's pretty close to where we were yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday we were at an 80. So
yep.
Okay, 79 or 81.
83. Okay. Yeah, we went the other way, definitely. So 83. You got to remember, 8:00 last night is when we really started to push. Yeah. Well, I think, so around 7:00 when I think we were talking, and I was like, usually if we pump before, we don't do really well after, but I was not bullish enough because we pumped all the way to 106,600 right now. Wow, let's go, man. Let's go. And let's actually get into that. Let's get into the Bitcoin price action brought to you by the great guys at BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be the leading leverage trading platform in the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. These guys are going to allow you to trade your runes, your BRC20s, and your L2 assets. They will be dominant, in my opinion. So definitely look up at BitPerp. Their paper trading contest on Botonics is coming either this week or next week. You will be able to trade. They're having one little issue, and that's the faucet. They want to make sure you guys are able to get your USDT and get that going. But we just had a video. I just put out a video yesterday with the guys from BitPerp. Go check that out. The core contributors were awesome. We had an instant. And, they really broke down what BitPerp is and what it's going to be. So definitely check out that video. Already 1,300 views on that. So definitely, guys, want to make sure you guys are watching that so you guys can code up. The BTP token is going to be dropping probably next year. But we will see if and when it does. But
Yep. And before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, smash that like for us. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and turn those notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, guys, we need a little help here. Share the space so we can get people educated and onboarded to the Bitcoin ecosystem, and hit that like for us as well. All right, so let's take a look. I'm not going to use BitPerp's charts today because it looks like the site is under maintenance, so they're probably just doing some upgrades from the last test paper trading competition. But let's take a look here. I'm going to start with the hour chart. So I'm also going to dive into the daily chart as well to kind of show you where I think we are in this Q4 of the halving year. But as you can see here, it has been pretty much up only since Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Saturday. Just this really good, strong looking uptrend on the hour chart. Man, we actually have this long wick up to here. That was Sunday starting at 6 p.m. We were at 106.544. So this was the first time that we hit that new all-time high. And then a retracement as expected overnight kind of situation. And then bam, man, these guys on Wall Street said, nope, we're going to continue this Santa rally, which is what I think is happening right now. We're still trading above the 50-day EMA here. And it looks like our support is support versus resistance is very lopsided for the support side. You can see even when I pull the data up to more recent times, which is, let me do even more than that. Let's go right here to this morning kind of situation. So I did 7 p.m. from Sunday. So you can see here, like it is starting to balance out a little bit at the top here, but even below that, 258 to 154 in favor of support, 173 to 63. So this range of 106,600 to 106,800 is pretty dominated by the support levels or supports buys pressure here. But we'll see if this continues, right? I don't really know what to expect in terms of second half of today because it is really, just hyper aggressive in terms of the buy pressure really starting this morning, right? In the wee earlies of this hours of this morning. But this is what I'm seeing right now on the hour chart. Probably expect some correction at some point, but I don't think it's going to be too aggressive. And I'll tell you why I think that. So getting here to the daily chart. So this chart right here to me is the most bullish chart time frame right now of where we are. So you can see on this MACD, and let me try to zoom in here if I can. We got our first green candle on the MACD. You can see the MACD line, the blue line has crossed over the orange line. So we are wanting to go up, right? If you pull this to kind of the last 4-year cycle, similar time range here, and you can see that we are entering the Santa rally that is similar to the time frame of 2020. Let's see here. So this is right here is kind of where we are, right? So if you look here, December 15th to the day, last cycle, this is the day we are. So look, you see it's up only candles here, right? So you had a range from December 12th all the way to December 19th of up only daily green candles. And I expect something similar, right? And you can see once this happened, like this is whenever it crossed over on the MACD on the 16th, right? And then it got really a huge green candle happened here. So that's why I'm also thinking, I wouldn't be shocked if we got to something like 140 before the year's up. You know what I mean? I'm still kind of conservative in terms of where my targets are. I'm still sticking to 110 to 120. But again, I would not be shocked if we busted above 120.
Yeah, I agree. And to just go on your Santa rally thing here, this is from 2023 last year. You can see we were in just this ascending triangle, and same thing we are here. But once we broke, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of giant green candles, and they got bigger and bigger and bigger. So if we do see something like that, we could potentially get to that 140 number. If you look at December, 23. I mean, if we copy this, this is pretty much to the day here. You see the 18th, you see the 16th, 18th will be here. Boom, dude. We could have 5 green days in a row going.
Exactly. And it's always going to be off a couple days here and there, but that doesn't matter. That's not the point, guys. We're in the segment. and that's all that matters. If it's off by a day or two here, it doesn't matter. And I think we are in the actual like up only period now. Of course, there's gonna be some corrections. I just think they're gonna be weaker. The pullbacks are going to be weaker during this next, because we're going to hit daily green candles. What does that mean? By the end of that time, whenever the daily is recorded, it's going to be green from the previous day. Means up only kind of segment of time frame, right? So that's just what I'm thinking, guys. And we're about to crack 107 actually to pull this back up because I'm you can see right here we're at 106,900, man. I'm telling you, dude, like the Santa rally has arrived, I believe. But yeah, so exciting times, guys. Look, you earned it. You waited for, you were patient. You've been like Shizzy and I were talking when we first started this podcast. He had this Bitcoin clock and he looked at a recording and it said Bitcoin 19,000. Imagine doing like recordings every week from 19,000 to where we are now, which is about to be 107K. So pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, man. I still have it. I just don't have it plugged in anymore because I got too much stuff plugged in. But yeah, I remember going, it said 19,000, 22,000. It's pretty nuts to look back on. And we were saying crypto spring is coming, but we had a long time.
Yeah, dude, our wives were like so sick of us. They were like, okay, you said it's going to be this time period and it hasn't. Oh, well, you pushed it back to this. And they're like, I don't know what to trust anymore. We're like, just trust the process.
But yeah, man, my wife said she gave up on time frames. She's like, gave up on time frames. Yeah, I was like, me too. I can't tell you what Bitcoin's doing, but I can tell you what it's doing right now, and it's running and it's running hard. But yeah, let's get into the roll call here. We did have some graveyard activity yesterday. I jumped in last night and I was just putting together. So shout out to the graveyard. We got Tim Baker, AOD Art, Danny D Blocks was in the graveyard. Renstorm Music, it's my guy. Let's see who Peanut Butter Jelly Time was in the graveyard. He said it. He said it's a graveyard party. They were partying in the graveyard last night. Webdro was in there, and Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and I love you. Shout out to Mr. Hanky. Yeah, man. But shout out to you guys. And he said something about Beyond is a cross chain. Yeah, I don't think you can really compete with Merlin. But
it's a different. They're offering something different. I guess the only way you could look at them as competition would be the interoperability part. Being able to bridge assets
Merlin
and
would
stuff.
But that.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Merlin, like that would just be more beneficial to Merlin.
I would say Bitcoin OS. Bitcoin OS is more of a competitor to Beyond than Merlin.
Yeah. 100%. Let's get into the live viewers here. First is first, and obviously those guys are in the graveyard. Nothing I can do about that. But YouTube is showing me that Chief Axel was number one. A shout out to Chief Axel. He's officially one of our mods. He has a little wrench by his name now. But shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for showing up every single day. We appreciate you. You're amazing, man. It was awesome to meet you in Nashville, and I hope to meet you in Las Vegas as well. Webdro is here. Shout out to Webdro. He says more ME for me. He is buying the dip, bro. He is buying the dip. You buying the dip?
Yeah, I'm buying a little bit of the dip. I mean, where I can, right? Like my portfolio is looking pretty solid. But ME is definitely a token in there. I got a pretty decent size claim, so I'm kind of just holding that, watching what's happening. I mean, ME has taken hits, and I think they expected that because their reactions sound like that from like Chartfu and everybody else, right? So I know it's a matter of time. That's my mentality with it.
Yep. And we actually added some to our corporate account. We added to our treasury. So ME is going to live on there for a long time. So
yes,
100%.
sir.
PJNZ says, "Oh no, we lost the graveyard crew." Yeah, the RIP the graveyard guys. But shout out, they're all still living though. We got my boy Yasher. Our boys are here. Shout out to you, my friend. Ordinals Tweets is here with his buddy Ordinals Chips. He says Yagobi is and playing the stock, and then play with Shizzy and you'll be a millionaire. I love this, guys.
Love it.
Mempool Punk is here. Shout out to Mempool Punk. Joko is in the building. Shout out to Joko with his Goosenal. Shout out to the Goosenals. And we have No with his Nuki. I love our crew, man. We got Goosenals. We got Nukis. Shout out to you guys, man. Steamy J is here. And another one of our new mods at Nighthawk UXL with the wrench next to his name. Shout out to you, my friend, GM 700K. And he's saying my number. I love that guy. Let's go. And we got one of my favorites here, Big Rod in the house. He's those Solana AI meme coins. Nicely funded a FU
Luka
Hedrons
Hedrons.
yesterday. Yeah, so
Yeah.
bought me some ME too. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you making money on Solana. Let's go. Bring it to Bitcoin. Bring it all to Bitcoin. And we got Zep Presky is here. Shout out to you. Hope ME bounces. Yeah, we're kind of thinking it does here. I can't really see it getting much lower than $3, but if it does, I mean, potentially find something to sell to buy some more ME.
Yeah.
But shout
Imagine
out-
if it got to
and
like $1.50 or something crazy like that.
that would be lovely.
Everybody
honestly, 'cause
would load in.
this
Oh,
is a $10 coin, bro.
107.
Officially, let's go.
Congratulations to everybody watching right now. You guys get to witness Bitcoin
Wow.
crossing 107,000 with us live. So that's pretty
Absolutely
cool to see,
insane.
guys. What is the next target? Are we going to try to
109.
Is it? I say
109,
110.
800.
Let's go
I
for
think-
110. Why not?
Well, I think 109, 800 is probably where that's like psychological number is going to come in. That's where you're probably going to see a lot of sell orders and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Yep.
But I could see us getting to 109 today. That'd be freaking amazing. But it definitely feels like the stock guys who left their desk at 11, they're the ones with causing the sell.
They were trying to short it.
and then they leave.
They were trying to short it.
I mean,
yeah.
Yep, and then they leave, and we start grinding up. So we'll see what happens at 1 o'clock when they get back. Mr. Sheedy is here. Shout out to Mr. Sheedy. Said, have a great day, everyone. Yasher, another one of our moms. He said, told you Shizzy was right. I don't know what I was right about, but I like being right. But he said no. Sheedy says no one but Shizzy is bullish enough. Let's go. Chain Watchers here. Big Rod says ME will bounce. I'm buying when these projects look boring. When they bounce, they make Bitcoin look like a meme coin. Watch Shizzy and Yagobi fall off their chairs at that one. I mean, if it hits $11-12, we were very, very happy people for sure.
100%.
And we
And
have,
also great. This is a great point by Rod. I want to put this out there to the to the audience is that if you look at like the altcoins and even more specifically, like the stuff that we are talking about, like the Bitcoin ecosystem, UTXO ecosystem, everything is like on sale right now. And it's because everybody knows the focus, the spotlight, the limelight is on, the king Bitcoin right now. And so for me personally, and I know Shizzy, because we talk about strategy all the time.
Yeah.
These are like fire sales. So that's what I'll say. Not financial advice, of course, but
yeah, especially right now when Bitcoin's moving up, a lot of liquidity is coming from these other things. And we were talking about this morning, the smart traders took their ME and they sold it into Bitcoin. And just a matter of time before they start buying it back, right? I mean, that's what that's what smart money does. They try to get in the asset that they believe is going to move next, and obviously that asset was Bitcoin sitting at 107, 122. We're freaking going, bro. We're going. I'm hype. But let's keep it moving here. T-Boy with some hearts. Shout out to T-Boy. Art Rick G is here. Long live Merlin Mondays. Yes, our guy Jeff is sick today, so he will not be joining us. But we're gonna be talking about that a little bit later. So shout out to Rick G, always here for the Merlin Mondays. Tim Baker, AOD Art says up and away. Pelpa is here. GM, beautiful people. I Walk Alone says, hey you, smash that like button so Shizzy can get a new hat with the orange V on it. I like the white one, dude. I'm black and white, bro. My favorite color is black. My second favorite color is white. My third favorite color is gray. I mean,
what you're seeing right now and every day is basically Shizzy's work suit.
That's
now people have the same suit in their office that he has those multiple of those.
Yeah, my suit consists of Russell t-shirts because they're so thin and comfortable.
You got to get a contract with Russell, bro.
I know.
Give them free exposure.
Guys, I mean, this is what you're gonna see every single day, right? So it's just like that's it. That's all I got. I got more too. There's more here. I do have this one. You guys can get this. This is a dope one.
Hey,
Ordinal Revolution, baby. But yeah, let's keep it going here. Today I paid some Yasher. He says today I paid the bus fare using Bitcoin Lightning USDT on Ethereum. Was always available. Wow, dude, that's insane. I know you can't do that here, but that's pretty cool. ASAP Benji says GM to my brothers from Ordinal Revolution. Shout out to you, ASAP Benji. Every single here, man. Ant-Man's here. Pelpus is MetaMask needs to give us our airdrop. So there's rumors now that they're going to be pushing toward being publicly traded instead.
Yeah.
Of the airdrop. So
wow.
Either do one or the other.
I mean, just imagine like how many people would get like airdrops for that, because people have used that's definitely the most used by far wallet. So
yeah, for sure. But I think, going public might be the way to do for someone like that. But they'd have to probably get a lot of regulatory stuff and be, I don't know. But Romaine is here. He says ME can't go to 0. It's impossible. Yeah, it's not going to 0. And then Pelpa says there's some nasty bearish divergence through on the RSI. Do you see that at all? Are you on the
what time frame? I wonder what time frame. Yeah, Pelpa, let us know what time frame you're on. And I'll let you know if I'm seeing that as well. On the hour, it doesn't look like it. The hour chart's pretty much like, I mean, it's like straight up, so it's kind of hard for it to show any kind of divergence right now. So maybe he's talking about the daily. Let me take a look at the daily here.
Pelpa goes, I hope so. I guess he's hoping for some downward action here. Luck says shorts keeping dog under 1 billion market cap. Wonder when it breaks. Yeah, when it breaks through, dog's gonna fly. We're gonna get into that a little later. Mike Bennett says GM Sixes is here. Mats is here. Shout out to Mats with his Nat Cat. Shout out to you, my friend. Michael is here. He says, "Hola, people. First off, I've been a big fan, and you guys are doing great work. Thank you, sir. Quick question.
Thank you.
What's your take on GameFi and its future on the Bitcoin ecosystem? You want to hit on this?
Yeah. So, we're pretty close with Foxy. Obviously, they're one of our integrated partners, and so I think the teams that are being consistent and they never gave up are the ones that are going to have success, right? So, this is just my opinion. So take it as that. But a team like Foxy or who else is doing GameFi right now? For example, BTC Machines. They have an awesome game in Centauria. And then there's a couple more, like I think Pizza Ninjas are doing something, but the ones that like could have left and didn't because it got really hard. There's a couple other projects that came over here that were GameFi, and once they realized that, hey, this is going to be a time thing, they bounced. Right, I'm not going to name names, but I can think of 2 right off the top of my head. So, with that being said, I think the ones that are also building possibly other products and services along with it, those are the ones that I think are going to have success. The Foxies, Pizza Ninjas, because they have a business model, and then BTC Machines. Those are 3 examples there.
Yep. Yeah, big fans of all those. And you got to have, our boy Chris, IMSO. He's quietly building right now. So we'll see if he brings anything else to that. So Albert says, Jeff living it like Larry in Dubai while we were still trying to make it. What? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Who's Larry in Dubai? And then no, we meet with Jeff every Sunday, and he was sick. He was going to try to make it, but he let us know early this morning that he couldn't. He's out. Like he's not going to even be able to talk. So we're actually going to go over a couple of things for Merlin Mondays. We're going to actually show you guys how to utilize the UX UI Telegram bot, trading bot, as well as the Universal X trading bot on how to use those to buy meme tokens on Merlin, because BTC.Fund's launch is right around the corner. There's going to be a lot of memes that are runes and BRC20s that you guys are going to want to probably get into, and you're going to be able to do, get into them quickly with these bots. So we'll go over that later.
100%. Mike Bennett says, tell Jeff to send out the Merlin tokens. He actually did send them out. Mike, I just checked your wild address. You have the 200 Merlin in there. All you have to do is you probably have to add I in the Telegram chat that we have, Mike, I actually put in the Merlin address. So just add that address to your MetaMask, and that should show you your 200 Merlin. But I do see it in your wallet because I just went to scan.merlinchain.com.
Should I put that link in the chat?
Yeah, I mean you can, but all he has to do is put that the Merlin address in his wallet. So,
gotcha.
I walk alone says Shizzy. You can get an orange B when Bitcoin hits 7. Yeah, when it hits 700K, I'll get an orange B for a day. Pelpa says 1 day. Pelpa 4 hour. He says the 4 hour, and then
the 4 hour. Yeah.
You see bearish divergence on it?
Oh yeah. So I see what he's talking about. Let me show real quick so we can kind of go over it. Let me hide the MACD because the divergence, bearish or bullish, are stochastic in the price action. You can see here. So what he's saying is he's seeing something like, this looks like an uptrend as opposed to this looking like a downtrend here. And these are momentum indicators. Oh, let me get out of that. And is it not letting me do it here? It's okay. All right, let me get this here and go like this. Okay. So basically, when the stochastic RSI is showing an opposite momentum from the price action candles, right? Then that's where the divergence will come in, right? It doesn't work every single time, but it is pretty accurate in terms of at least momentum swings. And that's the whole point of using these type of momentum indicators, is to get ahead, of the price action here. So good call on that, Pelpa, because I do see it on the 4 hour for sure. I didn't see it on the daily though. I did see it on the 4 hour because it you can see it clearly here is what he's talking about. So good call there.
Yep. Shidi says my wife doesn't get the process either. Albert says Larry is the big buff Red Lobster guy. Oh, from Gary. Okay, I got you. From SpongeBob. Yeah, we watch that daily in my house. Mike Bennett says, "Oh snaps, thanks." Yeah, no problem, Mike. Sometimes when it doesn't show up in your wallet, it's annoying. But like you just got to put in the contract address. For some reason, Merlin doesn't automatically come up. It should actually come up in the MetaMask, but it is what it is. Mike Bennett says, "I'll find it. My bad, thanks." And then Michael says, "Thanks for answering, guys. If we ever meet, the first 8 beers are on me. We don't drink, Mike, which is, but we'll definitely take some sodas from you."
We're lame.
Yeah, we're crypto junkies. That's about it. But Nighthawk says breaking pizza pets just hatched. Big news. I wasn't.
Nice.
I want to get one, but I totally forgot. But now they can start dying, so that's cool. And then Albert Mari says once 50 million ME is staked, that's when it explodes. Study Celestia. Yeah. I mean, for sure. I definitely remember that with Celestia. Its airdrop beat it down for a while, but that was a bear market. So we'll see. I definitely see 50 million ME getting staked. We can check that out a little bit later as well.
Yeah.
We did have a comment right there at the end.
That would be almost half of the claims, though. Goodness.
120. Yeah. Maybe that's tough. I know it's like less than 5% now that is staked. All right, great roll call today, guys. Wow, time is flying today. But we've got to get in some ordinal stuff. After the roll call, we always get into ordinal stuff here. But Murad says I'm quite bullish on Dog as well. It is the most decentralized coin. This is Murad. This is the guy who kicked off the second part of meme season here. What do you think about this comment from him on a podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody was probably like jumping up and cheering, all the dog community, whenever they saw that or heard that. But he threw a little extra sauce on there by saying it's the most decentralized meme coin. So look, a lot of people in our space, right, the Bitcoin ecosystem, more specifically Runes, they feel like Runes has this lack of respect given to it, I think, right, from the entire crypto ecosystem. So this probably felt good for a lot of people. Leonidas, I think, reposted that right away and stuff like that. So this is good. Dog is heading into a direction to where I think it could pull the entire Runes ecosystem up with it, like Ordi did, right? And so we're just kind of waiting for that moment to happen. But if you look at Runes right now, every other Runes is kind of in that fire sale state to where they're cheap. $1 billion cat's like right at 81 million. I haven't seen it that cheap in forever. Pups has pulled back. Everything's pulled back except for Dog. Dog's at 960 million. And so because of that, I feel like it's like any day that explosion is going to happen, and it will be good for the rest of the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Yeah, I agree. But we need Dog to move first. Once Dog gets that, once that Dog starts running, that's going to allow, BDC to run next. It's going to allow Pups to run next. It's going to allow Gizmo to run next, and then you're probably going to see, the smaller ones, the Mr. Yens of the world, the base internet pandas and stuff start running after that. And then you're going to see a lot of new coins enter the space. And that's just kind of how it goes, right? So we need Dog to run first. But dude, so I was just looking at the 7-day. It is bad. It is bad. So obviously you had Dog basically sitting flat on the 7-day. But then you have $1 billion cat at 36% negative. Pups, 32% negative. Gizmo, 32% negative, which is crazy. Pups and Gizmo have the same exact number. Arsic down 20%. Cypher Genesis down 41%. Bitcoin Bro Bear down 31%. Notice Me, I don't know this one. Memento Amori 24%. Lobo Wolf Pup 14%. Base Angel 26%. Basing a Panda 26%. This is bad, bro. Like this
It's
is
bad, but depending on how you view it and what your goals are, this could be very good. And I look at it that way. Because like, you know, I think your chance to really get into that dog window was about 2 weeks ago when we moved some stuff around with our corporate, you know, stuff. And I think we got in right at like 820 or something million. But it seems like dog is not going back below 900. You know what I mean? Right now, it's been really consistent between 920 and 960, right? And so you kind of missed that window, in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe possibly it pulls back further, but everything else, you have that opportunity, right? I mean, to me, this looks like, you know, if you have, like for me, the extra stuff that I have, I look at this as a shopping spree. Where do I want to go next? Which one? But you do have, for me, my mentality is we gotta be strategic though here, because like the foundational ones that are always in the top 3 to 5, those are the ones I'm looking at, and those are the ones with the biggest opportunity right now. If you look at it, it's crazy, right? Like BDC 36% retracement, Pups 32%, Gizmo 32%. Arsic, I probably would pass on that. Cypher Genesis, AI coins are hot. Butoshi, okay, 41%. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The other stuff is a lot more risky after you go through that. Memento Mori, in my opinion, could be it's not as risky because KC, but it's never gonna be hyper aggressive or anything like that. So it could be a safe play, but that's how I view it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What's your thought process?
Yeah, I think we need a tier 1 exchange. I think we need Kraken to come out and say we're listening dog. And once that happens, then it's like, what's the next? Remember what happened with Sats? When Ordi ran, everyone was excited for Ordi, but everyone just dumped money in the Sats like there was, you know, because they just knew that there's going to be another one, right? And they were right. And we did. Sats went to $1 billion. It actually passed Ordi for like a very small point before it had, you know, its downtrend. And you could see something like that. But like the question is, what is the Sats? You know, that's the question. One of these is going to run. Is it Pups? Is it Banana Cat? Is it Gizmo? Is it Cypher Genesis? You know, we know the AI bot. This could be an amazing buy right now. You might be looking at this in a year from now as being at $120 million or even higher. That's a 10x easy. That's like put $1,000 and 1,000 becomes 10,000. Like there is some winners here that are just being hit right now that you could potentially really, really make a killing on. Not financial advice, but I mean, damn.
Yeah. So Sats was very unique, I feel like. Because of first it had the narrative of how many holders is it gonna have? And then the length of the mint out while it was minting out. So Uncommon Goods has that similar thing, but just not the kind of brand behind Uncommon Goods, right? So Unisat was kind of getting behind Sats, and then there was announcements, rumors about Sats being the gas token for the swap and module that blew everything up, right? Utility now with Sats, and then Sats was so brandable because it was literally Satoshis. And the way they did the supply was exactly the same supply as how many, you know, Satoshis exist in total. You know, and so there was a lot of narrative behind Sats, and I think that's why it passed Ordi when it did. But then that cooled off as like Unisat's kind of gone towards Fractal and gone a little bit away from the utility stuff of Sats. But hey, look, it still trades multiple hundreds of millions a day on all the exchanges and stuff. So it's here to stay, Sats is. But what could be that? I don't know if there's anything that's like that, right? For number 2. So I think Dog has that clear number 1. Maybe Pups with like that community to where it could get a thrust up. $1 billion cat, I think, is going to be definitely like there's going to be that countdown to $1 billion market cap, right? Obviously, that's like what that's going to relate to. But how long does that take? Who knows? Community is there and the branding is there. So I just don't see anything that's like Sats because it was so unique. The only thing that's comparable is Uncommon Goods, but no brand push behind it.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, unless Casey comes out and really starts to, you know, punch it.
Exactly.
We'll see. $1 billion cat. Yeah. So I guess the question is it time to buy runes or does this go lower?
I think right now is like you can't be wrong for trying to accumulate runes or even other altcoins, right? Like right now, everything's looking like how runes is looking.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Bell's coins at 79 cents. I mean, that's a fire sale in my opinion. You know, there's a couple coins that aren't really pulled back right now, but majority of everything else is.
Yep. And I guess we get the second half of this is ME going to zero? No, like Magic Eden's the #1 company in ordinals. It's I can't. Is there anyone that can compete with Magic Eden? I mean, as the #1 company?
Not right now. Not
No,
right now.
right? So if you
Nope.
believe in ordinals, you should believe in ME for sure.
Yeah, but the thing with me is I look at Magic Eden's price, and I think like the industry or community for the industry is waiting for it to really thrust up. And I think when
Yeah.
that happens and there's a community kind of, we could be looking at a chain link to when it was stagnant for a while, or Cardano XRP.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's going to get as like long as that, because the tokenomics for those tokens are way worse than this. Tokenomics here are actually pretty good so far. Now, I know there's like VCs and investors. I don't know when they get their allocations and all that, but as of right now, it's just the people that are in the community that are getting the allocations. It's the claim, and right now circulating supply of that claim and everything included is 131.2 million. So that's pretty darn good tokenomics for right now, with a demand that we're going into the new year. So that's why I think this actually has a shot to get to $20, $30 like that. But we'll see if there's some sort of artificial suppression of the price, because if it doesn't go up, you're like, you have to think of why isn't it not going up? You know what I mean? So
yeah. And it could be the investors are kind of waiting for more people to claim, because it does seem like the people that are claiming right now are dumping right away. But some people might not claim at all. This might be, we're at 105 million that have been claimed out of the 120. That's 15 million that are sitting there waiting to be claimed. And most people think, especially Petty, he actually put out a tweet this morning that he doesn't think any more is going to get claimed. It's like, why? You're already almost a week since. If you haven't claimed yet, you're probably not going to claim. So
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, at this point, or it's not like a significant amount. It might just be like a couple hundred, and people are like, I'll claim it whenever before the deadline. You know what I mean? Any significant amounts, I would think have been claimed already.
Oh yeah, you want to make sure you get your tokens in your wallet. Like, even if you don't plan to sell, you want to make sure that you're able to get your tokens.
Yeah, I remember you like before the show started that day.
I know.
You were like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna be positive until it's in my wallet." But as soon as it was in, you were like extra positive.
I got up, dude. I was like, I mean, damn, dude, there's a lot. Damn tokens. I sold most of them at $5, $6. So I'm very happy about that. But it's official. All lands in the Bitmap Emporium have been minted out. Shout out to our guy Limitless. Limitless is a part of a bigger group of people that really ran runes. Really ran NFTs in Ethereum. You're talking about the Beckers of the world and that group. I can't remember the name of their group.
Tokyo.
Do you remember the name of it? Neo Tokyo. They were huge, front runners on a lot of NFT projects. They got on Pudgy Penguin super early. But Limitless is here now. Limitless is a part of the Ordinals community. He wants to be himself, and he wants to, but this is his land. You can see Ordinal Revolution. We got our little spot here. I regret not doing something like this, like the banana. That's pretty cool. We should have did four squares and
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I guess
that was smart, man.
It was. That's really cool. But
if that's
and something like this
are
as well. It might be Ords are, to tell you the truth. But you can see, businessman.eth is on here. I know you got Francis, Dune Uncensors on here, Block Runner on here. You got Unisat and Magic Eden and so many more. Really cool to be a part of this for sure. And I'm sure that a lot of these will be selling on secondary. So if you guys are still interested, you can still get in. But I can't wait till all these are showing an image. That's going to be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I agree, man.
All right. I got a few more things before we get into Sats. Before we get into Maryland Monday, I think it's fine because they're not joining us anyway right now. So, Sats Pump Fun launched their MVP yesterday. I actually had some time to test it. What's your opinion on it so far? I know you were looking at it this morning as well.
Yeah, I mean the interface from an aesthetics standpoint looks good. Everything looks good there. But first, I think we need to congratulate Francis for releasing this, right? So congratulations to Francis to release this. I know this was a heavy lift. in terms of the tech stack at Fractal, and then working with .swap as well, and all those. There's so many just third parties that you had to work with to get this done. So congratulations to him. He did it. He launched it, but I haven't had a chance to actually utilize it or try to launch a token. But I did see Crypto Fox. Shout out to him. He did launch his own token, so it's definitely doable. People are utilizing it some.
Yeah, they made this super easy. It has definitely an easy feel to it, and then the platform itself is absolutely, it feels good. It looks good. It feels good. It definitely has that. But I mean, the only concerning is there's no liquidity on Fractal, and I'm not just saying that. There's proof in saying that. If you go look at Psyopcat, it seems like a lot of money's coming out of Psyopcat and going into these new ones. But you can even see here, once they make it over this hump and get put on .swap, 52,000 is just like the minimum. It's just like, and that's, no one's buying this stuff. There's no liquidity on Fractal, and that's something I said to Francis a long time ago. If you want this to do well, you have to figure out a way to bring liquidity here. And I was trying to tell him, because Glizzy was back then. I was like, hey, if you pump Glizzy, you're gonna bring money in here. So when you launch this product, people are gonna dump that and jump right in here. But he wasn't. He thought I was being a jerk or whatever. But is what it is. But again, so Francis's problem isn't this amazing site. It isn't the users. It's getting money over here, getting money on the Fractal. So he has a problem there. And we're seeing, with BTC.fund, money is coming in through like the Messin Bridge from Base, from Arbitrum, from all these other places, and it's going to Merlin. And you saw that when Party launched. So I think that's his biggest issue. So
I agree with that. And that's, I think, something that like the BSV community has always struggled with, is like their user base, and everything is like closed for just whoever believes in BSV and stuff like that. So, but with Fractal, it doesn't have like the tarnished name as BS, in my opinion. Obviously Craig Wright and all that stuff, but like with Fractal, there's opportunity here. So I think you're right on that, but at the same time, I think that's one of the reasons why he created Sats Pump Fund, was to attract people there as well. So I think that's it. These market caps are all kind of around that 50,000 mark for the ones that got out of the bonding curve. One of the things I did see is that he was talking about, like, as a user, your biggest opportunity is the bonding curve, period. Right. So I think a lot of people are looking at the bonding curve as like, this is where I get my 3 to 5x. And so that's where people are trying to take advantage of it. So that could also be a part of why these market caps haven't taken off. Now, I think for a platform like Sats Pump Fund to get more outside attention, one of these coins has to go to 100 million, 200 million and really blow up, right? Same situation with like BTC.fund. Party, I think, is at like 32 million or something like that, which is substantially higher than any of these. But at the same time, it's different tech stacks, which equals way less users on the Fractal side versus something that's EVM. You can bridge in with Messin from Arbitrum, Polygon, all these other chains, as well as they're getting kind of the Telegram bot trading users as well, right? So I think next step would be, how do we get more liquidity over to Fractal? How do we get more users over to Fractal? And I don't think that should fall solely on Francis's shoulders. I think that needs to fall on Spencer's shoulders and Fractal, and also like the Cat 20 guys, because the Cat 20 guys have been preaching to the world that like Cat 20 is the all-time solution for these indexed fungible tokens on these UTXO systems. And so I think if they all work together, they can come up with something. They're all talented, Francis, Spencer, and Yahweh. So they just need to work together on bringing more users.
I just don't know why Francis didn't do this on an EVM. Why didn't he do this on Merlin? Why didn't he do this on another chain, right? Because I mean, Francis had the idea way before BTC.fund was, we ever even heard of them, and we heard about them super early. But like I think he made the mistake by not building this on something that can attract liquidity very quickly. I think this will be successful, but I just think it has a long time before that. I think it has 3, 6, 8 months before this thing is really popping. But I do think that it will be really popping. You got to remember, Bells is going to be adding Opcat in January. So that allows these tokens to be, he can potentially do
that's a great idea for new users.
Bells,
yeah.
Right. So
exactly.
I said Fractal, but I meant Bells. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a strategy, right? Like onboarding the Bells community. If he can kind of, at that point, like, you just find a wallet that is indexing both chains, right? For well, I guess like with the Cat 20, you just the wallet, the Nintendo wallet just needs to be able to index the Cat 20, which you know, I guess the chains index the balances. So we're about to find out if all that Cat 20 talk was legit or not. You know what I'm saying? Because like what they were saying is that you could, you know, minimize trustly. That's not even a word or a phrase, but you know, have a minimized trust bridge, minimize trust bridge with Cat 20 from like fractal to bells, fractal to Bitcoin if Bitcoin adds op cat. But if that works, bro, the game will be changed for UTXO chains.
Yeah. I'm gonna do one of these quick buys here. So 2 fractal, $10 sign. Let's kind of see how the experience. Wow, that was quick. I mean, the site is amazing. They did such an amazing job. I just hope they can figure out a way. And Francis is an amazing marketer, right? He has, you know, an amazing YouTube channel. He has the presence to really push this thing, and it doesn't feel like he wants to do that yet. Maybe they're trying to stress test it and make sure the MVP is up. So that could be why they're not really pushing it. But he needs to figure out a way to bring money to Fractal, and you know, as an ecosystem, Fractal needs to do that. But the problem is you know, Jack Lew, you know, we know he's creating his own you know, competitor to Fractal and, you know, stuff like that. And I heard that.
I don't care about anything that guy builds.
But I'm just saying he's going to take builders because he's a BSV guy, right? He's going to take builders that potentially could be building on Fractal away. And we already know that's happening, right? So, I mean,
yeah, maybe temporarily. Flash in the pan.
Yeah.
That's what that's his nickname for me, Flash in the pan. But like, I think one thing for sure I would say, and if the Fractal guys are listening and Spencer's listening, give this man a grant. I mean, I feel like he's earned it.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
Jeff
Francis. I'm talking about
Francis. So much.
Yeah, I mean, so like at this point, like they built it on Fractal, right? And so like, I think the focus just needs to be like, doesn't matter what could have, should have, would have, like it's there on Fractal. So now it's like, you know, give this man a grant. Like he's built the most, like who's built something like this on Fractal?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? You know, there's Pizza Farm, which is cool. No, you know, nothing against those guys. They're doing good stuff over there, but this is like a heavy lift, and he seemed to have delivered. So, you know, give this guy a grant. That's what I'll say.
I'd be worried to give him a grant though. He's just give it all away. Just give it all away. He won't use it to build. I mean, the guy gives away $1,000 for the last 50 days. Like,
I mean, that a grant is for marketing, right? So he can utilize it for marketing. He can utilize it for whatever he needs.
Giving
like more
it away is not. It's not marketing.
Well, there's things that you have to do for his giveaways.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to go follow the Stats Pump Fund account. You got to go do this and that.
True.
So I mean, it's marketing. It's marketing.
Yep. But he'll be the first one to tell you that airdrops make you no money. Giveaways don't make you no money. So it's like, you know, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the airdrop talk's got to stop because like he did an airdrop for people on Psyop Cat, right? So like, so that part.
And the best thing was, he claimed yesterday that he said the website is up 700% in the last 24 hours. And in my head, I was like, because the website just launched. Like some of his stats are so terrible. He's like,
no, but
the website.
I think what he's talking about is like, you know, something robust as Stats Pump Fund is not crashing, you know, like if there's a lot of traffic to it. I mean, I think that's a legitimate, you know, stat to talk about because like when you're overwhelmed with traffic and stuff, it's easy for the sites to lock up and stuff like that.
100%. I agree. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep watching this. I'm gonna keep playing with it, keep dabbling in it. I'm, you know, hoping for success, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Going into it, we have 2 more topics here. We can knock on these out real quickly. Luca, founder of Pudgy Penguins, shares he's most bullish on Ordinal MaxiBiz and Quantum Cats, despite holding more node monkeys. What do you think about this? And he goes on, I don't have this here, but he goes on and says he bets on founders, not projects. And he says he got in node monkeys super early. He got in, he said ZK Shark actually got him in to buy them super early, like the pre-buy or whatever that's called, you know, before they launched.
The Dutch auction?
He got like a bunch of them. Yeah, he got in a Dutch auction, so he got a bunch of them, and he's just holding, he says. So what do you think about that, though? He's most bullish on MaxiBiz and Quantum Cats.
I would say Luca is a smart dude, and he's brought Pudgy Penguins back up to their floor of 100K. So, you know, I think that he's looking at someone in the space that is a leader of an ordinal collection and saying, bet on this guy. And because like I saw that clips of that podcast that you're talking about, and he's bullish on ZK Sharp. So it made me honestly look at the floor prices of OMBs, because I was like, okay, like, can I accumulate any of these? You know, that's what I'll say. That's my perspective. So take it as it is.
There's rumor that there's gonna be white eyes, right? So there could be the next one. That could be a good opportunity to get some of them cheap, because if they add another 3,000-4,000 to the collection, because every single time they added to the collection got bigger and bigger. So if they add more than they add the orange eyes, I mean, you see the white eyes, that could be a great opportunity for someone with not a lot of money to get in there, right? Some smaller guys. So I think that's onboarding, and potentially that could get to where they are today, at that where the orange eyes are at. So we'll see with that. But the one thing that that I'd noticed that Pudgy Penguins went to 100K as Abstract is getting launched. Abstract is their layer 2 on top of Ethereum. But Udi is launching his own layer 2 on top of Bitcoin. So can the Quantum Cats do what the Pudgy Penguins did as their chain launches with Cat VM?
Absolutely.
So you think, yeah.
This is a business thing. More and more people are starting to say, what substance is there to this collection other than just a collection? Because the trendy thing was, to say, hey, this is just a collection, it's decentralized, good communities there together and have fun and stuff, but like there's no business model behind it. And now you're starting to see these business models that are coming in, and I think they realize that from what the apes did. The apes made some mistakes, but you have to remember the apes were pioneers with this kind of NFT / corporate approach. And so, I think other people looked at their mistakes and said, hey, let's not do this, let's not do that. Kind of similar to what was it called? Frank, what's his project?
Oh, Degods.
Degods, right? Now, there was a lot more mistakes in my opinion in that project, but during the bull market, at least, you could see like these ones that have an actual like structure that looks like a business do extremely well, right? Bear market is where those type of NFT collections can really struggle, because I think that's where the apes and some of these other collections like had a hard time. Like, how do we sustain? Because we're running out of money, right? But I think Luca was like looking at a collection that had good potential in the bear market to buy cheap, and he revived it, right? And so the apes are coming out with Ape Chain. I think that's a great decision for them. Pudgy Penguins coming out with Abstract, and then we'll see what the Quantum Cats do with Cat VM, right? Yeah,
100%. I agree. I'm very excited to see what happens. I know there's going to be $100,000 ordinal, 10K collection. Whether that's going to be Quantum Cats, we know. I got a feeling Quantum Cats they're going to add more to the supply. I just got a feeling for it, but we'll see. Question for you: did Udi sell his account or just go create art crazy? Because he's been posting pretty nuts. I'm thinking he hired someone to tweet for him, because it just doesn't. I mean, the wording and stuff doesn't really match up. Volatility tomorrow. Like, this isn't something Udi. I'm going to buy more one-of-one art. This isn't something Udi has ever posted, and he's posted so often lately. It just doesn't feel right.
I don't think he sold his account. I think he hired someone like Litecoin did, like an intern or something like that, right? So, which every once in a while you can tell what tweet is Udi, though. Like when he called the entire Bitcoin ecosystem out for acting like a bunch of pores, because they were complaining about like mint prices and stuff like that, right? But that's Udi when he does that, right? And so I
don't know. It's weird. It's just weird watching him tweet now. It's just, I don't know. And then he did the ALUs. He came out and was like, I'm bullish on the ALUs and stuff like that. Udi's never said anything like that. Like this tweet right here. This was not the Udi that we know. Here's how good Ordinals collections that all you broke Jeets ignored all year.
Well, I think that is him.
ALUs.
That is his.
You think so?
That is his. Yeah, he calls people out. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
he calls people out like a lot. Now, maybe like that was his assistant, and then like
Yeah.
he was like, "Hey, dude, I saw your tweets, and they don't really match up with my energy. Why don't you, kind of be a jerk a little bit
Yeah.
or something?" Right? But that pumped Alu's,
Yeah.
because Alu's floor now
Did.
is at 0.13 when it was at 0.009 when once that tweet went out. So he
So
helped him
Pelpa
out.
says Udi hired an AI agent Fiverr guy. So it's an AI agent is running that could make sense, right? If he put an agent on there.
He could, yeah.
And then Viral AGI says, "Are you guys still doing Tap Tuesdays?" Nah, we're not doing Tap Tuesdays no more. We're now doing Arch Thursdays. We feel like learning the projects before they launch is always better. And after Tap launched, it was time to move on and get into another project that is set to launch in January. So definitely check out Arch and Arch Thursdays. But yeah, no longer doing Tap Tuesdays. We wanted to continue with those guys, but we definitely didn't feel the appreciation coming back. But it is what it is. Now we get Matt, who's the leader over there every Thursday, to come in Arch and talk to us and stuff like that, which we never got Benny. I mean, we did the show for 6 months and we really, we did get David once, but we get Matt from Arch every single Thursday when he's available. So
unless there's like a big like thing that he, can't
Event,
attend or
yeah,
something like
basically.
that.
Yep.
But
So-
yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It's really more about, getting into something that's about to launch versus something that already had launched, and then the excitement of something new. Like you always say, people want to learn about what's new, and that's why we kind of transition to that too.
Yep, it feels like it's always about the new shiny object. It's always about that new about the old stuff still pumps. I'm not gonna say Tap's not gonna pump, but I just feel like something different like what Arch is bringing to the table is definitely something that is better. But guys, it is officially Merlin Monday. The guy Jeff and the guys will not be joining us today. Jeff is sick, but that is okay. We're still going to continue Merlin Monday. We'll have more updates coming. We do hear that BTC.fun is on its way to launching. That's going to be fun because Party is sitting at $30 million market cap around that. I think it dipped a little bit from there, but that's what I'm talking about, right? Liquidity. If there's no liquidity, there's no reason to play. And until other chains figure out that scenario, I mean, Merlin's it. Merlin should be where you're building at if you're building on a layer 2 on Bitcoin. Stacks has no liquidity. So it's not even about like the newer ones or older ones or nothing like that. It's just about where the liquidity is. Go on chain, you can check it. Bob actually could be a good place to launch something because Bob is liquidity is tempting for sure. So
100%. And Core is one of them too. So
Yeah.
that whole EVM Bitcoin sidechain / layer 2 ecosystem is starting to get pretty strong, which is good. I think that's very good because the more liquidity over here, the more that can free flow back and forth to Bitcoin layer 1 as well. But awesome. Yeah, what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to walk you through how to utilize these trading bots, right? They're the two that we're going to go over today. We did put a tutorial out on, and it actually on UX UI as well as Universal X. And but we wanted to also do it live, so you guys can kind of ask any questions that you have live as well. So I'm going to share my screen here. So I did share it with my laptop screen, so it should look bigger. Does that look better?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, cool. So the first thing you guys want to do is you want to search up UX UI DEX, right? So this is the Telegram trading bot. And from what I'm hearing is that these will actually eventually become Apple apps as well as Samsung apps as well, the Google Play apps. So that's super exciting. So after you find the UX UI DEX, you want to hit trade, and it's going to open your account here. Okay. So next thing you want to do is you want to fund your wallet, right? So you can go to balance down here, and you want to go to receive right here. Okay, so that's going to open a wallet here, right? So if you want to go to add more for like some Bitcoin, you can do that by clicking the Bitcoin here, and then you copy this address. So what I found out is that this is like you can actually send the wrap Bitcoin to this address from like any of the supported EVM chains that UX UI supports. And I believe there should be a list here as well. Yeah, you can see here. So these are all the chains, Ethereum, BNB, Tron, Base, and then Merlin as well. So, all right, cool. So it looks like I actually bought Party when I did the tutorial. So I'm gonna try to trade that actually into some maybe Bitcoin here. Okay, so let me get out of the wallet and go back to the deck. So I'm going to click trade right here. If it lets me. Oh, it might be locked up. Okay, there it is.
There you go.
I'm gonna sell my Party. And I'm going to sell it for, by the way, you can also deposit right here as well. If you need
wow.
to, that plus sign for buy, you just hit plus and then it will open the wallet for you from here. And you can go through the same steps that I just showed you. All right, so I'm going to sell my Party. I'm going to do 50% and I'm going to sell it to wrap Bitcoin on Merlin. It does open your wallet. I'm gonna hit confirm.
And with this wallet, you got seed phrase and all that, right?
So I haven't checked that part, like the seed phrase part, but and then hit sell, and it just messaged me that I'm authorizing to sell this. So it messages you on the Telegram side, right? So I'm just gonna hit confirm.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that what's going on and kind of go back and track everything. I love that.
Exactly.
I wish there was another wallet that did that.
Exactly. Okay, so it just messaged me again that it's complete. So I have officially sold 498 Party for Bitcoin there. Okay, cool. So how to use this for something that's new? So you can see what's trending here. A lot of times they have the trending tokens here that are new. So like the ones from BTC.fun will be the hot ones will be up here with like the percent gain. You can also kind of search through the trending here as well. You can go to market and just search, like you can click on Merlin and you can see the hot tokens on Merlin right here, just like that. So it's very, very user-friendly in that aspect. Okay, so that is the UX UI DEX, right? All right. So that, if you guys have any questions, just let us know in the chat, but I'm gonna show you guys how to use the Universal X bot next. So Universal X, this one's my favorite. And it's created by Particle Network, which no shocker there. They're, in my opinion, one of the kings of interoperability. So first you want to search Universal X in your Telegram, and then you'll find this. Make sure you look for this logo to make sure you're in the right one. Then you'll click trade. And then your account will open up here. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to fund the wallet. So you go to account. And then you can go to receive. So you can fund it with any EVM address that's supported. Again, the supported ones are Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, Base, Arbitrum, Merlin, Optimism, Avalanche, Blast. I don't know if any of these other ones I missed are, but
yeah.
And then also you can, if you want to use Solana is the main one here. I think they do that because they know the volume's up there, right? So you just send whatever you're going to send here. I have, I think I have Party as well in here. Now I have $3 of Party. Okay, so I have some BTC. Okay, so your wallet's funded. Oh, another cool thing about this is if you click buy, you can actually buy crypto utilizing your credit card, right? So if I wanted to do $300 worth of USD for USDC or Bitcoin, let's say I want to do Bitcoin, then I click buy, then maybe I have to do USDC on this one for the because it should take me to my
you gotta put your address in, that's why.
Yeah, but I want to buy it with the credit card. I think it was
oh, okay.
I wish I would. Let me get out of here first and then go back to buy. Yeah.
Okay.
There it is. So USDC Arbitrum, I think, is the one that
wow.
you can buy with like Google Pay or credit or debit card, right? So then you can utilize that too. So I just wanted to show that. So this is where we are with like onboarding, guys. Like we're trying. basically trying to onboard the masses, right? So they can use their credit cards and stuff instead of having to send every time from another crypto wallet. Okay, cool. So I have my wallet funded. Now I want to trade. I want to buy some party. So I go to trade here in the middle. All right. So what do I want to buy? I don't want to buy ETH. So I click that. Scroll down here. Look for the Merlin logo.
You type it in too, right? If you want to. You typed it in.
I don't know if it's added to their search thing, but I want to.
Gotcha.
So it's right here. But
Party.
I'm going to type it in. So it might not be in their search results yet.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, no. So there's like
one.
6 different parties. Exactly. So that's why I was showing it. It is under the trending ones. But you are going to have to scroll through it. So you click on party right there. How much party do you want to buy? I'm just going to do 1 USD. Oh, okay. So let me do half of that. I'm going to buy $1.82 worth. Hit
Balling,
buy.
bro.
I know, man. I know.
Balling on a budget. No.
So that's it, though.
I mean, dude.
I just bought it and it says view transaction. That's why I liked it. And I just got a message too. That's why I like the Universal X more than the UX/UI, which UX/UI is fine because, you know, whatever people feel comfortable with. But I just feel like it's a shorter process. You cut the steps out. And for me, being a digital marketer, you know, cutting the steps out are really important for the user. So that's how you do it, guys. Hopefully that helped you guys. But this is what they've been using, right, to onboard new users, which it has happened. You know, Party's volume has been pretty significantly higher than other tokens on the Merlin chain, right? So those 2 trading bots are the ones that I think, you know, that people are going to have way easier time to utilize. There are 2 more, but they're very like text based, and I just don't like it. In my opinion, personal opinion, but supposedly Asia likes those, which is also kind of interesting. But
yeah, and we have a question here. It says, "Yeah, I'm definitely bullish on the bots. Trading bots are you know, that's the future of crypto, buying and selling in, you know, in your you know, in the metaverse, basically when you're in Telegram and stuff like that, and you're able to just click there and just buy. If you can buy everything in your social media platform, that's how X is going to be so like huge in the future. I think all those bots are going to be eventually added to X as well. X is going to be your one-stop shop, and I think once we can take your you know, your trading platforms and put them in your social media to where I can tweet that I just did that, that's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. We're you know, that's you know, that's the next big thing. Social media trading.
Yep. I agree.
And then we have a question here. He says, Matt says, thought on Timon Telegram bot party. What do you think about Timon?
So supposedly, you know, there's been millions of people interacting with the Timon app for party, right? And so it's supposedly it's doing what it's supposed to do with onboarding, but people are just trying to earn as much party as they can utilizing that bot. But I'm not super familiar with it yet. That's something I'm going to dive in. Have you messed around with it at all?
I actually have it here. Let me show this. So I've been messing with it a little bit, but not crazy. But you can basically, using the party app, and this is from thing, you just basically come on here and you just claim. Every day if you come on here, the more daily rewards. Is the first day I've been on here in a while, though. But I mean, if you're somebody who can keep up with this, day 2 you earn, day 3 you earn, and then you hit continue. And then you have all these tasks, you know, react to this post on X. And I mean, if you complete these tasks, you win prizes. So you're basically investing using free money. And you can see I got 220 points out of 1,000. DT, you can earn this stuff as you're going. You know, the party airdrop, you can get pretty much get that. You got bonus tasks in here when you complete all tasks. I mean, if you're somebody who has time, you know, you can potentially earn a lot. I mean, there's a lot of tasks for you to do, and knocking them all out gets you more and more points, which allow you to get more and more party. And who knows what's next, right? If people who do this might get, there might be a Timon token in the future. I have no idea, but I mean, you could potentially earn by messing around and just playing around with Timon.
Yep. And just to kind of, I'm going to show one more time I'm going to show the party chart, which I haven't shown yet. See if I can do that real quick.
Well, I actually wanted to do that here. You can just do it if you want, but
Okay.
I want to show the Merle chart, the Hoo chart, the bitmap token chart. So I have it all ready.
Okay.
So
Can you do
first,
what do you have first?
I got Merle. I'll definitely do party though.
Okay.
But this is like the Merle chart, and so this is actually I think way undervalued right now. And as you can see, if you kind of go to the 1 day, you can see how high it got. It really, this is to me is ready to rock. I think on the downtrend here, and then the sideways action. But as you can see, this is upward momentum, even though it is sideways. This is kind of the low here at 16 cents. And yeah, we went up to 50 cents with a pullback. But Bitcoin got really boring at that time. What's going to happen when Bitcoin slowly rides up and Merle really kind of chases it? I think this is a huge opportunity for somebody if you wanted to. This is not financial advice, but you can just see the upward momentum that's about to happen here. I think we rock here, guys. I think this is the last time to get Merle under 50 cents this month of December. But that is not financial advice. This is something that I'm thinking personally, but I'm very bullish on the Merle token.
Yeah, I think the bottom after that correction has been that 30-cent mark. It hasn't really gotten below that. So that's kind of I think where that foundation has been solidified. And then once things start to really get aggressive for alts, maybe at the beginning of January, middle of January, you'll start to see this explode up with other tokens in that ecosystem as well, like the Bitcoin layer 2 ecosystem.
Yeah, maybe you see something like this, but I definitely will see some upward momentum. That's probably coming. So that's just me. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I kind of want to show like if you see there, you can see the volume of the 24-hour volume for Merle on chain, which is 69,000. That's not much, right? People are like, oh my gosh, that's not very much. But you have to understand Merle's being traded mainly on these centralized exchanges together. It's been added to OKX. It's been added to some large exchanges. So 15 hours total is like, between 15 and 20 million. Right? 24 hours total for centralized exchanges is about 15 to 20 million in between there. I'm looking right now. I think the last 24 hours was 15 million. On Friday, I think I checked, it was like 22. So my whole point that I'm trying to make is if you go to party next.
Yeah, check out party. It should be up here, right?
It's not added yet.
Oh, okay. So
you got
party on your screen, you can just show it.
Yeah, let me do that. Okay. So the whole point that I'm trying to show here is you can see that these Telegram bots, trading bots, are starting to work because this is for party.
Oh, wow.
And so it's at 1.2 million in on-chain volume. So the Telegram trading bots, as well as like Timon app and stuff, is starting to get interest here. And this is kind of down. I think it was like at 2 million last week when I was checking it for the 24th for that day. So right now the market cap's at 31 million. This is also with Jeff telling everybody on our show, like over and over, not to buy this. I was like, why are you telling people not to buy party? He's like, I just don't want anybody to feel like they're getting wrecked or anything. But honestly, they wouldn't have gotten wrecked because I think at that point the price was like 0.0009 or 0.009 or 0.008 or something like that. But I do appreciate him kind of trying to be careful for the audience and stuff like that.
You remember last year you was telling people not to buy the damn blue box? He told me not to buy the damn blue box, and I didn't buy more blue boxes, and they went to $70,000 or $50,000
they went to 50,
or whatever it
50,000,
was. 50,000.
50,000.
So I kind of learned my lesson. When Jeff says not to buy something, maybe you buy it. But I want to show a couple more while we're on the topic of Merlin. So Hoo Cat, it's definitely something I'm bullish on. Apparently a lot of people aren't because a lot of sells down here. But yeah, I'm definitely I don't know. And obviously we saw it fly up beginning of last year, huge. But I think it's kind of bottoming here. And I kind of see something on the lines of maybe kind of dancing around here before we see upward momentum. And I think this happens early next year in the February into March. But I think this could get back to $30 million market cap. I think this is like a 30x right here. And that's peak. I'm talking like peak next year, like July, August, September type of style. But I mean, that's still, where it's at, it's a 30x. And it's something where I'm kind of thinking on the lines of maybe DCAing while we sit in this little sadness that we're in, and then the upper momentum. Got to remember, this is the bonk of Merlin. If Merlin does good, you're probably going to come in here and see something like this as well. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I think it was like that first meme token that like was launched with the team Merlin swap, so they've been kind of looking at it as like their baby a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But if you go back to the last cycle on every EVM chain, the main swap had its main meme. Like every main swap had its main meme, and I think this is the meme of that. And if that's the case, then we could look at 70, 100 million down the line when everything's popping off like hyper aggressive. But it's going to take time. That's definitely the case in my opinion. It's going to take time. It's going to, Merlin's going to have to be thriving as a chain, which I think we both expect that to happen. But it's not something that's going to happen overnight, is what I'm trying to say, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but
100%. You're gonna need potentially need Merlin to get listed on Binance, Coinbase, and stuff like that for these tokens really to sort of take off. But the next one on the show right here is the Bitmap token. So this is actually it's actually more expensive than the bitmaps themselves, which is crazy. But we need that to open up. We need the bridge to kind of open
the bridge.
Up. But I definitely see this on an upward trajectory as well. And I feel like a lot of the Merlin tokens are kind of going to be doing the same thing here and bouncing up before they take the ride here. And I don't know, man. I just feel like this is where to be. And I've definitely going to be getting some of this bitmap token. But I'm kind of hoping maybe buy some bitmaps and then flip them over when the bridge opens to get the Merlin token in Merlin Phantom. But I feel like it's a lot of the same charts are on a lot of these Merlin tokens, especially MP's been rocking though. I've been actually taking a look at this one. It's been definitely better on this upward trend. Definitely has a pullback here, but this is already kind of on that upward trajectory, even kind of outpacing Merle a little bit. So MP is definitely something that's interesting. And then Voya, I get notifications for Voya all the time because I have it in my watch list. But this thing is all over the place. This is definitely trader games. It's definitely trader games, man. But at the same time, it is down pretty much to the bottom here. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm bullish on Voya. What about you?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have some sort of bounce back if, like, once everything on the chain, starts to get like more activity, right? The more focus on the chain, the more I'm bullish on some of these older ones. But I would probably look more towards something newer that's going to come out, right? With BTC.fun, I think those are going to be the ones that people are focused on. Some of these older ones, they might do well because they haven't gone to zero, right? But they also have, some people bought these when they were going up and wanted to hold. And it was the wrong time of there was no bull market cycle at that point. Yeah. It was, things were getting more bullish for Bitcoin, but like we are officially in the bull market cycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is where things get exciting and stuff. So the next couple of months, I think a lot of these are going to benefit just from that.
Yep. Well, a few more here. M Star. Something me and you're both bullish on here. We're kind of waiting for Merlin to get bullish, and I think M Star, once they get launches again, they're still doing good. But their launch pad isn't the end of them. They're building something called the Quib layer, which is the layer 2 on top of Merlin. Very bullish on that, but we'll see what that goes, and potentially
layer 3.
That could layer 3, because Merlin's a layer 2, a layer 3 on top of Merlin. So we're definitely curious how that's going to go. But as you can see, I feel like this is definitely bottomed. And we're probably going to see this on a lot of tokens. Like the bottom is in. Like this is the point you're going to look back to in about 3 or 4 years. And when you're studying like the charts and stuff, being like, well, what did it do back then before it really went upwards? And we're going to see a lot of this bottoming signals. So getting in something as it bottoms like this, I mean, who knows? But who knows? It could go lower. This could go to zero. Who knows? But at the same time, this is kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for bottom signals to really start coming in, and 100x's are definitely possible.
Yeah. So. I think BTC.fun is going to probably take a lot of the attention away from their launchpad. But their launchpad could be, more focused on utility, which I think it should be anyways, utility type of tokens and stuff that people might want to launch, during that time. So Cyberrida, he or she, I think it's he, but he said holding Merle to the moon. Yeah. So one of the reasons why I think that Merle's gonna have a solid future is because of the focus on volume that Jeff has. He's obsessed with it right now, and I think he's looking at Merlin to be like a processing type of chain, like back end processing volume, front end easy to use, like your grandma can use it. That type of approach. And so, yeah.
Yo-Yo
Street says Merlin. Go ahead. Yeah.
God. Oh yeah.
He says,
wrote the
yeah, he
spell
says
book.
Merlin sucks. I bought the spell book and don't know what happened with that. Yeah, so that was Merlin's starter, right? I think that's
Yeah.
what he's meant to say. Yeah, you know, again, I think it was more of the timing that Merlin launched in February. Like the excitement was, similar to like what Blast, did with like putting the
Yeah.
TVL on chain and stuff like that. That was really the excitement, and it drove and transitioned into some of these tokens. Really, some people did great with like Hoo and Voya and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Made good profits. But you also had to be, I think, experienced and realize that, hey, this is February 2024. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not
Well,
December
at the
2024
time,
or January 2025. I know, but at the time, but the problem is that like we were thinking, this is bullish for which it
yeah.
was for the ecosystem of Bitcoin ecosystem, but the overall crypto cycle, it was not time. And I think that messed a lot of people, including
Yeah.
me, like I got thrown off by that. I'm not too prideful to admit I got
Yeah.
thrown off by that, because like when you're making money coming out of December 2023 and you're doing well with these ordinals and stuff, you're just kind of like, we have our own
Yeah.
bull market. We make the rules
Yeah.
here. And then
Yeah.
that obviously
We're the
wasn't the
captain
case
now.
in
Yeah.
March. Well, that wasn't the case in March, because or I would say like
Yeah.
April, May or whatever, because then all of a sudden like everything just went like that. And then but now we're about to get in, we are here, but we're back on track of the industry cycle, which makes a big difference. Liquidity can be sustainable.
Yeah. And at the time, though, we were talking about a left translated cycle. And we put two things on the table. We said either going to be a left translated cycle where we peak in, right now, right? This would be the peak of a left translated cycle, or we get a super cycle. I think we were both saying that we don't think it's going to be a normal cycle. And I think we're going to hit a super cycle here. I think we're going to go into the depths of 2026, March, April, May,
which
and still be
I don't
rocking.
feel,
But
which I don't feel too bad for being thrown off, because even our boy Bob Lucas was thrown off, and which kind of made us thrown off a little bit too, because we were thinking left translated because of him. Not trying to say we blame him for that. I mean, I get why he was thinking that, and it all comes down to Bitcoin thrusting up in February when it shouldn't have, and that was an ETF factor, right? That was an ETF effect. So,
but hey,
he
even back then was saying, it's either going to be a super cycle or a left translated. And he's, I think he's leaning more now towards the super cycle. So,
Yep. Yeah, Street says, oh, okay. So there aren't the same things under Jeff. No, so like Jeff is the founder of Merlin Chain. So Merlin Chain, yes, but like projects under Merlin Chain, Merlin Chain is a decentralized chain. It's just like Polygon. Like, like how many people have done like, in and outs with projects on Polygon or Arbitrum or anything like that. Like you can't put the founder of Arbitrum or Polygon on that. But yeah, so that is what it is. Like Merlin Starter is a completely, like, it's its own thing, right? So but we do know that they're still involved. It's just, what have they pivoted to, right, since February? Merlin Starter as a launch pad. That's something that we need to figure out, and they'll give the public information hopefully on that.
Yep. Real quick, so I put out the poll today. The poll was, will we get a Santa Claus rally? 130 incoming ? And 75% of the people who voted, and there's like 60 votes here, say yes. What do you think about that? So everyone's kind of pandering.
130, wow.
People.
Yeah, so everybody's extra bullish, man. Everybody's extra bullish. Which,
what are we right now? You want to show this chart before we get out of here one more time? Bitcoin chart.
Yeah. Let me I'm gonna switch my screen again because it's throwing me off here.
I mean, some of the alts are moving right now too. So that's good. That's good. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so you can see right now, this is the 5-minute chart, because I'm not gonna lie, I use this sometimes for entry. I use 1 minute for like exact entry, 5-minute kind of like what's the feeling of the, what's the feeling right this minute kind of situation. But anyhow, I want to move this to the hour, because I feel like that's like a fair time frame to look at. Wow. Yeah, that's and also so Pelpa brought up that there was bearish divergence, which I agree on that 4 hour. It looks like bearish divergence for sure. But I think where divergence can possibly not necessarily play out is in Santa rallies or something crazy like
Yeah.
that, right? Something to where the momentum is so obvious, it's there. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna see how this plays out. But like if you look at the hour chart, and this is very local in terms of data, you're looking at this morning from 6 a.m. to where we are now, Central Time. Okay, so the price point that we are right now is 107, pretty much $107,120, and it's heavy, pretty heavy on the support side. 484 buys to 374. Above that is 304 buys to 207 sell. So you know the momentum is on the bullish side. Now, if we lose this and we drop down here, then it starts to, well, it's literally only this price range right here that's kind of bearish. It's like bullish, bullish, bullish. I mean, there's support all around this area except for right here. Sorry, right here. And it's barely, you know, stronger on the resistance side. Barely. So I don't know, man. Like this could really keep going up. I mean, you know, I don't know what else to say. Like, if we are truly in the Santa rally, then expect daily charts to show green candle after green candle after green candle on the daily. And that's going to be a good time for those that got into Bitcoin. You know, this entire, I'm going to start calling it the off season.
But yeah, man, it's been fun, guys. Been awesome. Last question here. Danny says, "Who launched UXUI? Why isn't Merlin Chain on there? I set up a wallet. I like TG bots. I'm
not
on 100% sure. Yeah,
it's on there now.
So okay, cool.
Yeah, let me double check because I looked on there, and when you click trade, it brings your wallet up, and you go to balance. And then, yeah, it's on there. Merlin Chain's on there. Yep, it's on there, Danny. I don't know if, yeah, let me actually just show real quick. So it looks like it. No, you don't have to add network. It's just, it's already there. You just might need to search it is the thing. But you can see here, like mine's saved because it's default. But if you go to all networks, then you can see all the tokens available. But if you go to switch network, Merlin's there at the bottom. You see that? Yep. No worries, man.
Yep.
No worries at all.
All right. I think we had an amazing show today. Upward momentum on Bitcoin all day. But let's get out of here. Thank you guys all for watching. Appreciate you.
Yep. Definitely. Let's just get this switched back here. All right, we're good to go. Yep. We started slow for sure. I don't know. X maybe try to suppress us or something. I don't think.
I don't know what happened with
maybe
that, dude. It's like 2 people. I don't know. That was really weird. We usually start at least 15.
Yeah, we ended with 308, so we're in a good spot. We have 343 people, so you know our YouTube viewers also got up, grew. It seemed like a bit too, so that's good. We appreciate all 343 of you guys are watching, and the ones that were watching and bounced out. We appreciate you as well. And if you have a little extra time and wouldn't mind checking out our partners, we would greatly appreciate that. It helps us, you know, allows us to do what we love to do, including you guys viewing us. So we appreciate you. But Emblem Vault, you know, they've been talking a lot on their timeline about AI, man. Shannon is a beast of a dev, and he's going to have that Bitcoin wallet ready, the AI Bitcoin wallet. You're going to be able to go into an LLM like ChatGPT and just say, hey, buy me 1 million, dog, go to the moon. As long as you have BTC in that wallet you connected to that LLM, they're going to do it for you. So super, super cool. Can't wait till that's released. But also, they've been talking a lot about their Emblem keys. So, you know, that's something that has dropped. It's going to be on OpenSea or the Emblem Vault Marketplace. You can find that at emblem.vision. These guys are the interoperability protocol of Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. I believe that truly. They're going to be able to allow you to jump your Puppet, NodeMonk, whatever you have from Bitcoin Layer 1 to, you know, Layer 2s like Merlin or Base and stuff like that. So super excited about those guys. Check them out at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology for you guys to be able to place bets with your Bitcoin. You can do so directly from your Xverse wallet. You can deposit directly to the platform. It does take 6 blocks, but after that, you can start placing your bets. They have bets that are related to Bitcoin, like will Dog Go to the Moon get listed on a tier 1 centralized exchange in 15 days? Or they have sports markets as well. So go check those guys out. There's also a point farming system. They're not being shy about that. So they're going to have a rune coming out very soon as well. So opening an account gets you 50 points. That's all I'll say there. Check them out at betbtc.win. And then BitPerp is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They should be starting the paper trading, I believe today, maybe tomorrow. I will find out from them and we'll put out a post and let you guys know. But the top prize for the paper trading competition on Botonics is 10,000 USDT and then 50,000 BTP. And I think that actually will be split amongst the top 3 winners, but we'll get final details about that. You can check them out at bitperp.io. They're going to be your place to trade runes and other Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. And Fluid Tokens, these guys are beasts of UTXO devs, man. They are like already hungry looking for the next thing here. But they have created the first retail user staking vaults on Bitcoin Layer 1. So if you're a founder of an Ordinal project or you deploy to Runes or BRC20 and you want your holders to be able to stake to earn rewards, reach out to Raul, the CTO of Fluid Tokens, or reach out to us. If you can't get connected, we'll hook you up. So check those guys out at fluidtokens.com, and you can click on the Bitcoin option there to go into their protocol for the Bitcoin Layer 1 side. And then Merlin Chain is your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1, but you also want more flexibility for possibly new users or your current users, so they can swap in a more fast and seamless way or do whatever your protocol does in a more quick and efficient way, reach out to their team. They have great builder grants. A couple of our partners got into that grant, got approved. It doesn't hurt to apply. And they have great builder support as well. So check them out. If you're a user, you want to be able to buy Dog Go to the Moon in a more quick way, something similar to Uniswap, visit merlinswap.org and you can swap your wrap BTC or your Merl for Dog Go to the Moon or the Bitmap token, runes like that. And of course, check out our integrated partners, guys, if you have some extra time as well. Foxy's building the Bitverse metaverse in the Bitcoin ecosystem, and Ordinal Hive is an aggregator Ordinal marketplace. You'll find the cheapest Ordinals there on Layer 1 or Merlin Layer 2. So we appreciate you checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. And one more thing, guys, wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com. Some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys are in dire need of VPN, which every single one of you guys who don't have one should be, you do not want to be traveling this webverse without a VPN. You don't want people knowing your IP, which allow them to get your address. It's dangerous, guys. Don't be stupid. Get a VPN. And if you guys want a 70% off coupon, use Nord. Use our link right here. Click it right there. That'll actually take you to it. And I think it's like $2.99 a month, guys. VPNs are super cheap. There's no reason not to have one. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be amazing, but do not wait till next year to get your tickets. Get them this year. They go up in price as we get closer. It's going to be great, guys. Vegas, Bitcoin, we're all going to be very rich at that point, so it's going to be fun. And if you guys need some merch to wear to any event, really, or just lounge around the house with your hoodies and whatever, my favorite is the hoodies. I got multiple hoodies now. I just recently got this one. This is kind of my favorite. Chancellor on the brink of second ballot for banks. People read it and have no idea what it is, but as Bitcoiners, we know that this is in the Genesis block. If you guys need a Bitmap hoodie, show off the Bitmap that you love. We got the Bitmap Punk right here, and then we have Puka, we have Memento Amore, we are all Satoshi Nakamoto, Gizmo, Seiko Hamster, and so much more here. Goosenol, Billy Cats, so much more here, guys. Check everything out at ordinalrevolution.com. If you guys want us to add something, we can add your PFP if you want us. Just reach out to us. You can pretty much add anything you guys want us to add. Let us know and check out ordinalrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. We really appreciate every single one of you guys. And until tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough. got the Ordinal. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah, experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the Ordinal. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit found fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. Started Satoshi's nothing above me.